15.99 to Norwood 2.5.17. So Brash, they're doing well. And as well as that, we've got Division 1 scores. Close game, Noble Park. They've come back. Noble Park are trailing. Actually leading at half-time. 5-7-37 to North Ringwood 4-9-33. Roeville and Montrose, and it's Roeville 5-7-37 to Montrose 4-7-31. Doncaster at half-time is 6-8-44, leading Knox 2-4-16. And in Division 2, it's Wanturna South 4-10-34 to Mitcham 2-6-18 out there at Walker Park. And also in Division 4, Kilsyth 5-5-35 is leading Glen Waverley Hawks 4-7-31.
All right, and we're back here at H.A. Parker. So Heathmont 8-4-52. They leave the Waverley Blues 7-5-47. And the Jets are just bringing out here of defence. And the kick down the line towards Finn Brown. That's a good mark after the kick from Brent Honey. So Finn Brown marks just in front of his own coach's box, and he chips it in short and gives it back to Honey. So a steady start, not the frantic start we're used to in this game, as Honey switches to play nicely to Sindrick. And he marks.
Really important quarter here for Heathmont. I think if they hope to win this game, I think they need to probably be 2 or 3 goals up at three-quarter time.
They got the scoring in, so they go back to Ferns, the deepest of the plays. He goes short and finds Odermatt, who's been good all day, Lee Odermatt. The oldest player on the ground, you'd suggest, almost, for the Jets. He goes down the line to Conyers, who's back up and running after that injury scare. He seems fine. So he's going to run around on that right boot and just pop it high. Not sure who the option is. Out the back there is Finn Brown attacking the footy. He dropped the mark. He does well, though, on hands and knees, as does his opponent. And we'll have it wrapped up. I think it was Tyson Hale there. So Heathmont Heathmont's forward 50, 30 out. The Viking goes up against Taberner and wins the tap down. A Bruzy doing there. Taberner's just sitting on the footy. He's hatching at umpire. And the umpire says, I'll toss it up. So we'll go again. The Jets by 5 points. Tapped for by the Viking, but grabbed by Turner, who's back in defence. He hooks it around the body, and a good spoil there from Hale. Knocks it towards the boundary line again. And the Jets will just steady. They go back to McIntosh, who's uncertain of what to do. Gives it to Sindri, who's got a nice right boot on him. He pops it up nice and high to the top of the square. Turner dropped the mark he should have taken, but he does well on hands and knees to get it back out to Taberner. Colombo, though, puts the pressure on and knocks it towards the boundary line. And it's escorted over the line there by Thomas Gill. And there's still been no score. We've gone 2.5 minutes in this third term.
Every player is forward of centre, Brash.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Very interesting.
As is the margin, 5 points, EFL Game Day, 98.1 Radio Eastern. Barry Cott's around the grounds all afternoon. There's some really good scores coming in. If you haven't heard yours, you need to get on people at your club. Everyone's got Twitter, or at least the young ones do, at Footy EFL. Get us the scores right through as the Waverley Blues try to clear the ball out now, out of that defensive zone. That was a fair old kick too. 50 metres across the face.
I reckon they'll be happy with that Waverley Blues. They've absorbed 2 or 3 minutes already of pressure that Heathmont are really going for it here.
To bring the ball back in now, Taberner. He had the front spot. The Blues at the fall of the ball. Squeezed the kick into the middle of the ground, but it's going to be dropped off there by McDonald. He took it well, then kicked it up towards Odermatt, who had the 1 mitt. He went up after it, but it was stolen there by McLean. He had support there. Loose handball in the middle ground, mopped up by Luxor, but he coughed it up. Kick goes inside by Stevens, which was smothered. Well, there's a few mistakes being made early. Inside forward 50, the ball goes. And Turner, who kicked a goal early, we thought he might have played in the forward line this afternoon, but he got quickly switched back to the back line, gets it across Gill, put himself under a fair old bit of pressure, which meant Hughes was also under that same amount of pressure. Oh, they're not letting anything go here, the Jets. Young gets it away. Here's Rourke, squares the ball up into the goal square, and the Viking takes the mark. Breezy, he's only about 10-15 metres out. This is going to go straight through the middle. And he'll be the leading goal kicker on the ground. He's already kicked 2 this afternoon. He's been all around it. If you've got any scores, Barry, chime them in now. We'll wait, because Breezy comes in now. There's no way he'll miss this, and he makes no mistake. Goal umpire gives a 2-finger salute, and Heathmont 5 minutes into this third quarter. They call it the premiership quarter, but we are early in the season, but we'll still use the pun, there's no doubt about that. 9-4-58 to 7-5-47, a handy 11-point lead. Barry Cott's around the grounds with the score centre.
Yes, to Division 1 and South Croydon have opened up a big lead. South Croydon 13-4-82 to Blackburn 7-3-45. And in Division 3, it's half-time. Baronia 8-3-51 leading the Basin 5-3-33.
Yeah, that was an important goal for Heathmont. They've been attacking for the opening 5 minutes. They're really going to have to hammer home some advantage here now, Matt.
Yep, and they go up again. Taverner rucks all day, but Evans has won the tap. Young on hands and knees got the handball to Rourke, who flicked it out there to Burley, the grasshopper. And he goes long. That's a great right boot and towards the Viking, but it's over the top of him. Colombo flew, brought it to ground, then follows up and gets his own crumbs. Colombo with a bit of a throw, got it out to Odermatt, and Odermatt hooks it back. And the Viking, what a grab!
Oh,
what a mark! Big Rewalt style, running back with the flight, and he's going to line up for his fourth. He should kick this one as well. He's about 5 metres out. The umpire's going to put him on the angle.
That's a fantastic mark. And
did he mark it? It's hit the deck, but you've got to pay those.
Brilliant camera work by Leroy Green for LKLM Media as well, just to show that back in slow motion. And it's all about the Viking at the moment.
It is, and the Viking's going to line up for that. He's run around. And he's kicked it.
And he's kicked it.
Well done, Ben Abruzzi. He's got 4. The Vikings have 10. They are 10-4-64 to the Waverley Blues 7-5-47. We've gone 6.5 minutes here in the third quarter, Brash.
All of a sudden, Heathmont have put their foot down on the pedal, and they're starting to. They've won. They're winning in the ruck. Their centre line is starting to get their hands on the ball, and they're managing to play long and direct.
Tell you what, Taverner looks out on his feet. And
he does, doesn't he?
Not good signs for Bryce McGain and the Blues, because he's done majority of the work. Ben Turner's already missed a fix-it, as he's Savage. Like you said at half-time, they need more from their lower-rung players. Taverner didn't jump, but he won the hit-out to Turner, who's just doing everything. Got the handball to the nearby runner, which looks to be Malloy, and he's thumped into the square by Evans.
He might actually have to revisit that move. Turner onto a Abruzzi again to stop the big Viking.
Might have to. The Evans has tapped it down, so Turner, after kicking the first goal of the game, BWS, Brash is calling for him to go down and stop the Viking, who's got 4.
Well, he did go on him for 5-10 minutes in that first quarter.
And they shut him out in the second term, but it's tap forward. Here's Bailey Stevens, the ex-Eagle. And he just puts on the boot. Not the Viking again. He's being held. He's being held.
He's getting
a
free.
go at 5. The Viking, that move to number 60's work to treat.
The definition of a purple patch.
Well, he was being held, definitely. The bleached blonde hair of Ben Abruzzi being held by Kurt Benjamin, who really needs a chop out.
And the thing is, it's not the first time that the Vikings done this. He was like this during the finals series last year. He had brilliant bursts of play, 10-15 minutes, where he was just about unstoppable.
He hails from Seville in the Yarra Valley League, and his kick is on the way, and it's there. The Viking loves it.
And he's gun barrel straight.
He's got 5. And now the Jets have kicked
Standing
out.
ovation by English in the goal square as well.
Haven't they? So the Jets 11-4-70 lead Waverley Blues 7-5-47. We've got 8.5 minutes in the third quarter.
I love it, Brash, when I put down the goal scorers on my team sheet and I get to do the 4 goals and the cross through the middle. And
do you? Do you like that, do you?
He just loves a big bag of goals.
Yeah, well.
He's doing very, very well, and well, it's interesting because now there's a 23-point margin.
This did happen in the first quarter.
And like what we saw during the second as well, Heathmont coming out from the blocks. Can you see Waverley Blues answering here, Brush?
Well, they're still in the they're still in it though. They're still there, but
Taverner got it away and it came down. Stevens stumped it to the goal square, and it might be over for Young, and he got boot to ball. He got boot to ball right on the goal square, and a fantastic goal there by Ryan Young.
And by the Viking
Heathmont Football Club, while they've opened out a very, very handy 29-point lead here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 9.5 minutes have ticked over now. 12-4-76 to 7-5-47.
Now the question
you cannot keep the Viking out of it, Brash. Not only he didn't kick that one, but just the deft little tap down to Ryan Young.
Now the question is going to be asked of Waverley Blues. Have they got the legs now to run up the hill to get they're going to need at least 2 or 3 goals to get back into the contest by three-quarter time.
Looks like they've gone man-to-man as well around the ground as Bryce McGain.
Well, I reckon that's a win for Heathmont.
So it's gone down. Hawkins off the wing, and he's going to get this footy away. Tries to burst out of the tackle. He had an option. And he get called up for a ball.
Because if they have to go if they've got to go man on man against Heathmont,
it looks like the Jets are winning all the individual battles.
They will win the individual.
So Taberner wins the ruck and got it down to Turner and just tried to Evans, who's been good as well. And like we said at half time, there's just a handful of names that BWS and I are calling for the Blues. They need a few more to step up if they're going to get across the line. So Evans will go up against, it looks like Turner this time. No. So Kurt Benjamin, so he's been thrown in the ruck after the Vikings just done with him. He got the handball out wide and taking a good bump there was Hawkins. Great bump from McIntosh, who handballs out to Rourke. Rourke right in front of the centre wing, goes long down the line. It's in the Odermatt direction. Good wrestling and a good mark by Ben Turner, who's gone in defence as Brash called for. So had a little chip kick, which works this time, finds Malloy, who's been quiet. Malloy goes wider still. Colombo puts pressure on the man out there in Coughlin, and Coughlin goes short down the line. So this is better from the Blues. Steady build-up of play. Robinson will swing onto his trusty left boot. No, he won't. He'll handball over the top to Malloy running past, who goes short. So the build-up's been better. Finds the man out on centre wing. He goes short looking for Benjamin, who does mark it despite almost being spoiled by his teammate. So he's just forward to centre wing for the Blues. He gives it off to the runner. And coming from behind him and going long inside forward 50, but it's straight to Campbell Evan. That's a poor entry. And now Heathmont will swing it away through McIntosh.
So it comes out McIntosh on the right boot out towards the grandstand side. Mark's been safely taken by Burley, who's just screaming for some support up towards the wing position. He kicked it to a one-on-one contest, and it was always like that as well. Not really good percentage there. Turner takes a mark, switches it into the middle of the ground. They're mucking around with it. Twycross had the time, got the handball away, linking up well there. McLean had support out towards the far side here where Smith leads out. Winds around now on the right boot, just a short pass is on. They got to do it in bits and pieces just to get the momentum back in their favour. Up towards the half forward line, drop what he maybe should have taken there was McNamara. Now it's for Heathmont to turn the ball around, and up and under kick. It's anyone's ball here. Quick kick out there by the Waverley Blues out towards the boundary line. It's going to hold up though. It confused everybody. Colombo was there. He's a clever player. Just released the football in the nick of time, but the Blues do have the numbers. Switch the kick, looking for McNamara, who stretches and takes the mark. He's 2 kicks away from home. Goes in towards Taberner. It was knocked away from him. Beautifully rove there by Dylan Spurns out towards the wing position. He got it away to Brown into the middle, back to Spurns. Linked up well with Rourke. We've heard that a few times over the years. Kick goes inside forward 50. It was a wafting, pofting kick. Abarizi, the Viking, is dominating this game. He's kicked 5 goals. Couldn't do it in that instant. Little handball up and still centre half forward for the Heathmont Jets. Little handball there by Smith, goes up and under. The pressure is fantastic. Well done there by Brown. The second effort was brilliant, and he traps the ball back in, and we'll have a bounce 45 metres out from the Heathmont goal line.
Mate, wafty pofty, that's a brilliant call there for that kick.
That's old school, isn't it? The margin's 29 points out here at H.E. Parker Reserve, aka the Hanger. 76 plays 47. Umpire throws the ball up now. Knock away that time there by Benjamin. The kick goes forward though for Heathmont. Goes in towards Odermatt. Tried to use his body, screaming that Robinson should have been paid deliberate. That's never going to happen, Oders. And over the boundary line she goes for a boundary throwing. Barry Cotts around the grounds with the score centre.
Yes, very quickly. Division 1, South Croydon 82 to Blackburn 45. Vermont 99 to Norwood 17. Noble Park 37 to North Ringwood 33. Rowville 37 to Montrose 31, and Doncaster 44 to Knox 16.
It's a disappointment for the Norsemen out there at home as the Waverley Blues look to run it out of defence. Malloy's handball finds Twycross, who goes wide. Now it's a foot race, and the Jets are going to win it. And leading the charge out there, well done there by Honey, who sweetly handballs it inboard and finds his man there in Sindri. Handball towards Wood, the ruckman. Now the Blues are away. Savage is here. He's kicked 2 already. Takes a bounce. Takes a second bounce. He can run all the way. He runs to 40. Kick on the way.
Beautiful.
Near side. Looked good from our position. The perspective was a bit off as Spurns always went cannoning through the fence. It's a behind. He needed to kick that, didn't
Yeah,
Brash?
but the other thing is too, there should have been a Waverley Blues guy running with him and talking to me, because I reckon he had another 10 metres.
He did. So the kick comes out. It's straight over the head, and Hawkins is just going to mark. It's a poor kick from Dylan Sferns. McIntosh usually takes the kick outs thus far today, but Hawkins has been told to go back and have a shot.
I don't know if he'll get the distance here.
But he does need composure, which the Blues have lacked this quarter. There's been a lot of missed handballs and missed kicks and drop marks, and they need to kick this because the margin is 28 points.
There isn't anyone we haven't challenged to make the distance today.
Love challenging.
The arc's about 35, I reckon, so he's going to kick from right on it. He's got the distance. He's got the journey, he's got the accuracy. Sit down, Brash, that's a goal.
Okay.
So Simon Hawkins kicks a much-needed goal for the Waverley Blues. They are 8-6-54. They trail Heathmont Jets 12-4-76. 15 and a half minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Brash.
Badly needed goal there for Waverley Blues, because Heathmont really owned this first 15 minutes of this quarter.
Barry Cott's around the grounds with the score centre.
Yeah, Division 2, Moorpark 79, Mulgrove 33. Also, Mitcham 18, trailing Wanturna South 34, Lilydale 45, Pike Orchards 41.
Oh, it's back then.
Yeah, and Division 3, and it's Ringwood 51, Templestowe 20, Baronia 51 to the Basin 33, Scoresby 59, South Belgrade 15, Warrandyte 27, trailing Venture Gully 27, and Donvale 40 to Churnside Park 36.
Absolutely loving your work, Baz. Doncaster East lead Upper Fenchurch Gully by 9 goals in the third term. Just had a text come through.
Well, it's about time they texted something through.
Only text when they're in front, Brash.
Goes up towards the half-forward line for the Waverley Blues. Savage gets a handball away. They're streaming forward again to the top of the goal square. The big fly by Hawkins, knocked away from him. Ball hits the deck. The Jets do have the numbers at the fall of the ball. That's good play. The clearing kick out towards the half-back line. Little handball came away. That was there by Burley. Tried to spot up a teammate. He was under pressure that time in Robbie Wood, and we'll have a bounce right in front of us here in the broadcast position. Wood knocked it down. He was looking for his teammate there in Conyers. Great to see him recover from being carried off earlier. Not by stretcher, but with a little help from his friends.
Yeah, good.
As Joe Cocker would say, and over the boundary line, it goes for a boundary throw.
Good kicking to touch there by Conyers. Gained a valuable 30 metres.
40-20, Brash.
Yep.
Scrum.
17 and a half minutes go, 76 plays 54.
Tapped in, tapped down there, and Conyers is trying to burst through, but he's met by a wall of Blues, and a little kick from Thomas Gill finds its way towards Turner. It's missed by him, and Cassini on hands and knees is grabbed there by McNamara. It's flicked out, and here's Stevens, who's been really, really good, the young man. His kick's in the Viking direction. Oh, it was never in doubt. Just jukes up McClure style and chips it in towards centre forward, looking and finding Sindri, who definitely won't have a trouble with the distance from here. He's got a booming right boot, the man in the yellow boots. So he'll line up from directly in front, and the Viking continues to dominate this game of football. He's kick 5, the deft little tap down to for Ryan Young for the Jets last, and then just 2 clean hands, a clunk there on the half-forward flank for a chip into the middle. And now David Sindri, a wiry young man from the Heathmont Jets.
We're talking nails. This will be the first one.
Here we go. The coffin's out, and there's at least one nail in it. Put it on around the bottom left. The Jets are now 13-4-82. They lead by 28 points. Waverley Blues 8-6-54. 18 and a half minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Barry Cott's around the grounds with the score centre.
Yes, to Division 4, and it's Eastbourne 38 to Forest Hill 31, Kilside 35 to Glen Waverley Hawks 31, Coldstream 48 to Surrey Park 20, and Whitehorse Pioneers 58 to Sylvan 40.
Always hard to start running on top of the ground when you're 5 goals down, heading into time on into the third quarter. Everything has to go your way, and you need a lot of your big players on top of the ground and running into form. At the moment, that's deserted Waverley Blues.
Well, the knockdown came down by Wood. It missed his teammate in the middle of the ground, scooped upon by Hawkins through the head, back Joel Selwood style, but unlike Joel, who always gets a free kick, he didn't.
He's been unlucky there, I think.
Yeah, I agree, totally. Lots of close games in Division 4, just hearing that from Barry Cotts, but nonetheless we're at Division 3. It comes out now and they're streaming forward, the Blues. The kick goes inside forward 50. Sferns got the knockdown. That was okay, had support from Sheriff, who'll look for Sferns, who just makes space. He's such a general across the back line. Colombo screaming for it across the half back line. He's not going there. Well, he is going there now. He's going over his head, and the pack is going to form. And a big fist over the back there by McLean. Sees it go over the boundary line and out of bounds. Right in front of Leroy Green from LKLM Media, the best in the business, there's no doubt about that. And the Heathmont Faithful Social Club, always getting around it here. You got the Bowls Club, the Cricket Club, the Footy Club. They all love the colours of the blue, yellow and white. There's no doubt about that. And we'll have a bounce across the arc.
Even the Croquet Club too, BWS.
The netballers are on the other side, the tennis club. Yeah. This is one of the hubs of the eastern suburbs, there's no doubt about that. Things are only going to get better as well. Brush on hands and knees. Luxor, he got dispossessed. Kick goes inside forward 50, but standing strong there was Dylan Sferns. We only spoke about him a minute ago. He just reads the play so well. Short passes on. Conyers takes it in the back pocket. He can chip over to Colombo if he wants it. He might take for the longer option here. He chooses that, goes up towards the wing position where the big fly came up there by Brown. He overran the football. Charging through there was Hale. He was dispossessed to the footy at hands and knees. There was Conyers. Came out now. They're going forward. Robinson on the right boot. Can he put it through? He can't. He floated it to the left-hand side. They needed that one, didn't they, the Waverley Blues? 21 minutes tick over. We're into time. I'm in the third term out here on EFL Game Day. 82 plays, 55, 13-4 to 8-7.
McIntosh's kick is right off the side of the boot, but he's going to get away with it. Bailey Stevens makes it look good.
Just keep your eye on Tommy Rourke.
Yeah, he's left. He won't be able to kick this very far, you wouldn't think.
He is very ginger.
As he handballs off back to the Sheriff, takes that easy possession, and that's a beautiful looking kick down the line. It's towards Brown, who dropped the mark, but on John McDonald just burst through a pack of Blues, and I reckon there's a reason he plays on the back flank with a kick like that, and it dribbles out of bounds in the
still alive. Oh
no, free kick. Pushing the back, so English was going to trot into an open goal and put that second nail back in the coffin, but there'll be a free kick to the Waverley Blues defender, John McDonald. That was a perfect little burst out of the pack. All it needed was the kick. So that kicks down the line to a 3-on-1 for the Blues, and it is a mark taken there by Benjamin. So Kurt Benjamin now just forward of half-back for the Blues. They need the next one.
Here we go.
So the handball's off. There's a bit of run and dash. Short ball finds Twycross, who's been really good all day. Cassini holds him up. Twycross just takes off. Wheels onto the right. He got a Shepherd. Good kick out in front. Good work from Sferns. He's been magnificent down back. Doesn't get beaten. Sindri taps it ahead of McIntosh, who runs onto it. McIntosh through the centre circle. Kicks long and out in front of Colombo. Great kick. Chris Colombo marks. Forward pocket. Distance not an issue. The angle might be. It's good play from the Jets.
Not only was that important, but the last 2 or 3 minutes, Matt, the experienced guys of the Eastern Football League, the Conyers, the Sferns, those sort of blokes have steadied the ship and just been able to take the steam out of whatever momentum Waverley Blues have been able to try and amount.
Yeah, you're right. A couple of entries recently, the Blues, that Sferns has defended, and Colombo loves it off the boot. That's another nail. That's his second. Heathmont 14-4-88. They lead by 33 points. Waverley Blues 8-7-55. We've just ticked into the 23rd minute of this premiership quarter on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and it's not looking very good for the Waverley Blues, Brash.
No, it's not. All of a sudden, Heathmont have just decided that they've put their foot down on the gas, and they've got the game on their terms. Exactly what they wanted was to be playing down that mid. They wanted the corridor. They've got the corridor. Now they're controlling both sides of it.
And you're right about Sferns. He's been massive down back.
Pye throws it up again. English got a little paddle on it, but it was stolen there by Luxor. Goes back. Got Van Hawkins on the right boot. Kicks it out towards the wing position. Creates a bit of a foot race there. The Blues did have the numbers, though. That was okay. Robinson got the handball away. They go inside forward 50, but nobody's home. It travels over. Speak of the devil, there's Colombo. He's chasing everything. Sheriff, solid as a rock as always, on the right boot. Gets a clearing kick out towards the wing position where Odermatt only had eyes for the football. And he's received the free kick, if not the mark. Let's give him the mark.
And he's got a penalty.
Good jukes as
25.
well. 25-metre penalty paid, and I tell you what, that'll almost bring Otis to within range.
Yep. I tell you one guy that's scary that's not in the side. He's one of our favourites, Kevin Clark. Imagine what he'd be doing if he was in there this afternoon.
Just poked it towards the forward line there, Otis, that time, but they did have the numbers there, the Blues, as the handball goes over the top, and they can use that far side just to stem the flow. Little handball. They're taking a few risks here. McLean, he's been good today. Gets a handball away. Got it away to McNamara. It scoots out Young, goes backwards. They can create the switch here. The Jets, it's risky business, but it's going to pay off. Here's Honey on the right boot, goes direct that time. They're off. Inside forward 50. Stevens goes over the top. Here's the Viking. Can he get another? Otis is in there as well. The ball hits the deck, and we're going to have a bounce 15 metres out from goal.
They look like they're going to score on every forward 50 now.
The Waverley Blues, on the other hand, I don't think there's any sort of plan. They're just handballing, playing on without thinking about what's ahead, kicking into the middle.
Pye throws it up. It's very close to that behind line. Blues, though, they get the handball out. Here's McLean on the right boot, kicks it out. That was good play. Spotted up Robinson. He wants to move the ball quickly. He's got to hit the target. Instead, he hit Colombo, but what a fantastic tackle that was there by Ben Walker. It went just over his fingertips, but then laid it on one of the most creative players in Division 3.
That was a goal-saving tackle, because Colombo was going to stream right into goal then.
Well, can they make something of this? Can they get a spark out of somewhere here? 26 minutes are ticking on in the third term, up towards the half-forward line. Drop what he normally would have taken there was Savage. Clever enough for the second effort on the left boot this time. Up towards the half-forward line. Robertson gets down and takes the mark. 2 kicks from home they go. The kick goes towards the Evans direction, and I tell you what, this man, he's just standing strong the whole game. Dylan Sperns switches it out wide, and Finn Brown takes the mark, and he's just going to slow things down here. He's going to switch the play, in fact, this time. Go back out towards the scoreboard side. And Heathmont, they just have the answers. Short passes on. That was absolutely terrible. Taberner got the handball away. Gets it back. Snaps around the body. Can he put it through the big man? Well, he didn't even see where the goals were, but he had enough poise to put it over the goal umpire's head. That is just what they needed. Is it enough? Can they get another one or two before three-quarter time? The Waverley Blues, 61. They trail by 27 points out here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 88 is the Heathmont Jets. EFL Game Day, Division 3 football at its best, Wayne Brusher.
It is, and you're right, BWS, a faint glimmer of hope, but I reckon they need another couple just on the stroke of three-quarter time.
Speaking of scores, let's go around the grounds with the score centre. Barry Cotts, has anything been filtering through at Footy EFL?
Division 1, Baldwin 11-12-78, leading East Ringwood 3-5-23, and it's three-quarter time. Division 2, Muralbark 15-4-94, 15-4-94 to Mulgrave 4-10-34.
Well, that's three-quarter time here at H.E. Parker Reserve. It's Heathmont 14-4-88. They lead Waverley Blues 9-7-61.